Hi, welcome to Daily Dose of Anime Recaps. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the first 4 episodes of the series Full-Time Magister. A boy is transported to a world where magic is real and a daily part of life. Will he ever return back to his real world, or will he get stuck here forever? Before we begin, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss the next episodes. At the start of the anime, an aloof high schooler, Mofan, narrates his story as he's found himself in a universe similar to, yet distinctly different from, his own mundane one. He was transported to this parallel universe when he was taking a nap behind a mountain wearing a mysterious pendant just 3 months ago. It's a place where magic has replaced the essence of science. One day, Mofan has just finished his entrance exam for a renowned magic institution. He is determined to get into the institution. Meanwhile, we see a couple of his classmates discussing how their exam paper was really difficult. One of them is Bai, who descends from the Mu family, one of the 4 most powerful clans in China that specializes in ice magic. Another one named Zhao Kun-san comments that Mofan will probably fail the exam. Turns out rumors have spread about Mofan's poverty and lack of magical ability, labeling him as the laughingstock of the school. Outside the school gate, Mofan's father is waiting for him. The father tells him that he's found a job for Mofan outside the city. Considering their financial condition, his father wants Mofan to work as he cannot admit him to the renowned magic institution. However, Mofan is determined to learn magic, so he begs his father that he will study hard to prove he can become a world-class magician. Convinced, his father replies he will manage the fee for the school. One day, Mofan and his only friend, Zhang, return home from school. Zhang tells him that Mu Ningzhu has returned to town. Mu Ningzhu is the daughter of Mu Zhouyun, the head of the Mu family. On their way, they notice Mofan's father talking with Mu He, the director of the magic school. As Mu He and the father used to be friends as children, Mofan's father begs the director to take his son in. The director initially refuses, explaining that Mofan has failed the test and it would be inappropriate to admit him into the school without paying fees. However, when Mofan's father considers selling their house and land in exchange for Mofan's tuition fees, the director agrees. At dinner, his father tells Mofan that he will be going to the magic school. The father encourages Mofan to pursue his dreams. Additionally, he also lies that he's renting out the house, so Mofan needs to stay in a dorm room at the school. Later that night, Mofan has a flashback to the time when he attempted to elope with Mu Ningzhu. However, it had been seen by everyone as him kidnapping the innocent young lady from the rich and powerful Mu family. Back in the present, Mofan is accepted into the magic institution. It's the first day at school, and Zhao and the other students wonder what their awakening elements will be. These elements identify each individual's power as a magician. The elements are wind, light, water, earth, lightning, ice, and fire. From their conversation, we learn that the chances of awakening with a fire element are very rare, and fire and lightning are the most powerful elements. In the classroom, the teacher hands out a badge to each student and explains that after they awaken their magic element, the badge will light up according to the color of the element. Next, each student is called upon in front of the classroom and advised to put their hand on an awakening crystal. When the crystal glows the respective color of the elements, the student is said to have awakened their power. We see that Bai is the first one to be called. As he places his hand on the crystal, it starts to freeze on its surface. Everybody cheers with excitement that Bai has unlocked ice magic. After most of the students finish awakening their power, Mofan is called at last. His classmates insult him, saying that Mofan would be fortunate enough if he had unlocked the light element, the weakest one. It takes a while for Mofan to unlock his power element. Thus, the teacher and the students are distracted by a student from the next class, who has just unlocked the lightning element. Meanwhile, Mofan remains alone in class, trying his best to connect to his inner soul and unlock whatever element that lies within him. Surprisingly, Mofan manages to harness not only the rare fire element, but also the powerful lightning element. While he is blessed with dual abilities, the teacher and the students are in the next class. When they return, they only catch up with the part where Mofan has unlocked the fire element. Everybody is as shocked as Mofan himself. However, he doesn't tell them about his lightning awakening and decides to only show his fire element to the public. 2 months later, the students begin training to release their power element. The teacher explains that each badge has 7 stars on it, which is to be released one by one in order to release full power. He then has has Mu Bai demonstrate how it's done, as he's already in his 5th star. Mu Bai is praised for being a fast learner. Meanwhile, other students wonder how Mu Bai does it, as they are only in 2nd or 3rd star. Zhao reminds everyone that Mofan is still on his 1st star, so they don't have to feel so bad about themselves. The students then ridicule Mofan for his inability to train faster. However, little did they know the whole truth. After school, Mofan secretly goes to an alley and resumes his usual training. Turns out, although he's only on the 1st star of his fire element, he is in the 6th star in the lightning element. Mofan is determined to release the last star too, hoping to finally unleash his lightning power. After practice, he spots his sister, Zhenjia, across a field. He notices that she isn't in her wheelchair. Therefore, he realizes she's been bullied once again. Mofan approaches his sister, who complains to him about the bullies. Not far from their place, there are a couple of gangsters who have taken Zhenjia's wheelchair. The boss decides to give it back to her only if she accepts his proposal to be his girlfriend. Mofan fumes when he hears the gangsters mocking his sister's crippled condition. Consumed with rage, Mofan finally releases the last, that is, the 7th star in his lightning element, thereby fully unleashing his lightning power. He then attacks the bullies with all his might, injuring them. After everything is taken care of, Zhenjia thanks her brother and congratulates him on acquiring the lightning power. Meanwhile, Mu Bai visits his uncle Mu Zhouyun, Mu Ningzhu's father. Mu Zhouyun asks his nephew about his element, and the latter proudly boasts that he is in the 5th star. He is also curious about Mofan, and Mu Bai reports to his uncle that Mofan is just in his 1st star, and he might as well get expelled from the school for being such a slow learner. Back at home, Zhenjia wonders how her brother was able to summon his lightning power so soon. So she asks Mofan if he's been involved with the Black Order, which is an evil organization that is able to train people much faster. But Mofan is so innocent, he doesn't even know what the Black Order is. He then tells his sister not to disclose his lightning power just yet. The next day, Mofan and the other students are greeted by their new magic teacher, Miss Tang Yu. The students stare in awe as they gaze at Miss Tang Yu's exceptional beauty and charisma. After school, Mu Bai visits his uncle, who shows him a black stone that is able to absorb energy. They're planning to use the stone in the upcoming examination to drain Mofan's power and ultimately expel him from the school. To make it work, the uncle will assign one of his men to be the examiner and place the stone near Mofan when he's trying to manifest power for the exam. Elsewhere, Mofan is determined to release all the stars and harness his firepower. The next day, the teacher explains to the students that their examination will be based on how well they can manifest their power on a crystal ball. The brighter the crystal ball, the more power each student has, and they are also graded accordingly. Mu Bai interrupts the lecture, asking if there will be a test to release their power as well. The teacher replies that since not many students can release the power so soon, that test will only be optional. However, if any student passes that optional test, then they will be upgraded to the elite class. Mu Bai smirks with confidence as he believes he will make it to the elite class and have access to that equipment. It's finally the examination day, and the students line up in an assembly as they prepare themselves to showcase year-long efforts. Standing atop a stage, the school's principal announces that they have a special guest for today, the Mu family. Both Mu Zhouyun and his daughter Mu Ningzhu are present there. We learn from the announcement that Mu Ningzhu is now a university mage and one of the most powerful ice magicians. With her honorable presence, Ningzhu demonstrates her amazing magical skills. She manages to freeze the crystal ball. All of the other students watch in awe as Ningzhu manifests ice power and freezes the floor as well. Meanwhile, Mofan wonders how she got so powerful. The school's principal then calls upon students one by one as they exert their power. The students are graded based on how radiant the crystal ball gets when they touch it. In the next scene, Zhang is called upon the stage to test his power. He's successful in achieving an A grade. After manifesting his power, Zhang tells the teachers that he wants to do the power release test as well. The students become skeptical as Zhang isn't that powerful. However, Zhang is optimistic, so he prepares to do the test. Unfortunately, he doesn't pass the power release test. While the other students mock him, Miss Tang Yu encourages Zhang to keep practicing harder. Next, it's Mu Bai's turn. As expected, the young lad showcases his powerful skill, which gets him an S grade, the highest grade in the examination. Confidently, Mu Bai also prefers to do the power release test. In the optional test as well, Mu Bai passes with a grade of B, which is applauding since nobody has reached this far. Meanwhile, the Mu family, including Ningzhu, watches everybody's performance. Next, it is finally Mofan's turn to showcase his magical skills. Mu Zhou-yun insists they take off, but Ning Zhu wants to watch Mofan's performance. As Mofan is ascending the stage, one of Mu Zhou-yun's men secretly puts the black stone under the crystal ball, hoping that the stone will absorb the boy's power, causing him to fail the exam. But to his surprise, nothing goes as planned. Mofan concentrates deeply as he puts his hand over the crystal ball. Initially, it glows a dim light because of the stone's power absorbance. Due to the dim radiance, Mofan only gets a B grade. However, Miss Tang Yu is quick to notice that the crystal ball is faulty. Ning Zhu supports her, claiming that she thinks the same. So the principal changes the ball and decides to re-examine Mofan's power. To everybody's surprise, the crystal ball lights up with full radiance the second time Mofan touches it. He is then awarded the S grade. Zhao and the other bullies wonder how Mofan, the weakest in their class, managed to be so powerful, while Zhang cheers in happiness as his best friend is now the top student. But Mofan still hasn't finished demonstrating his magical skills. He demands to do the optional test, the power-releasing one as well. Not long after, we see a powerful ball of fire exerting from his body as he burns down the mannequin in front of him. Amazed and equally enraged, Mu Bai wonders how Mofan got so powerful. After the demonstration, Mu Zhou-yun is considerate enough to approach Mofan and congratulate him on how far he has come, despite being a driver's son. Furious, Mofan confronts the old man for raiding their house 3 years ago and always torturing his family. Mu Zhou-yun's ego is hurt, so he prepares to battle the young lad. However, the principal insists they settle the argument as they are on school premises. Mu Zhou-yun then decides Mofan duel with his foster son, Yu Ang, who is the same age as Mofan, and the loser will have to bow their head. Mofan accepts the challenge, but Miss Tang Yu interrupts their conversation, explaining that the magic law only allows students above 18 years of age to participate in a duel. Since the boys are only 16 years old, they will duel after 2 years. After the matter is settled, Zhang warns Mofan that Yu Ang is rumored to be much stronger than Mu Bai, so he shouldn't take the duel lightly. However, Mofan is determined to win the challenge and have Mu Zhou-yun apologize in front of his father. It is the new semester and Mofan remains the first in the school, while Mu Bai follows him behind. Their class teacher announces that as of the semester before, Miss Tang Yu will be their magic practice teacher. The class teacher then continues with his lecture by showing magic equipment that is in the shape of a bracelet. Each student will be able to train with that equipment starting from the top student, Mofan. However, due to his recent argument with Mu Zhou-yun, he will only get 10 days to train with it, while others will have 20. The teacher adds that any damage to the magic equipment will not only result in expulsion, but the responsible person will be forever exempted from being a mage. Later that evening, Mofan meditates alone on the rooftop with the magic equipment. Suddenly, his mysterious necklace lights up. When he brings the necklace near to the magic bracelet, the necklace suddenly changes its form into a serpent and gulps down the bracelet, and then changes back into its pendant form. Shocked at what he just saw, Mofan worries he will have to bear the consequences of losing the magic equipment. Just then, Miss Tang arrives and learns of the situation. When asked about the pendant, Mofan replies that it is in his family heirloom. Upon closer inspection, Miss Tang reveals that the pendant is a rare and extinct magic equipment that absorbs soul spirits and energy. Mofan quickly realizes that it was because of his pendant that he was able to train faster and summon his magical power than others. Since Miss Tang is very generous towards Mofan, she decides to get him out of trouble. The next day, the students are taken to a training facility on the mountainside. Miss Tang announces to them to be extra careful since there could be monsters lurking inside mountain caves. When they reach the station, they are welcomed by Zhang Kong, an expert hunter. Kong announces that he has a monster hunting task for the students, and whoever will succeed in the task will be awarded a special magic armor. Mofan realizes that Yu Ang is backed by his powerful family, so he must have all the needed supplies to train himself. Therefore, he's determined to complete the hunting task and get the armor reward.